Hi, everybody. Welcome to Castor'sCorner.com. I'm your host, Khalil, here for our live toy of the day. We are late. We are late. And that, how do I point to him? There we go. That big guy right there is the reason. We got a tip from our friend Ben that the Shang-Chi wave was hitting Walmart, and we got the whole wave, as well as the retro figures from the Star Wars. But it didn't give us any time to do any photography or any pictures, or I barely had time to open them and sit down. So we're going to save those for the rest of the week, probably starting tomorrow. So we're finishing off our Transformers. Well, the Transformers that were kind of like core to the line. I've got some the Weaponizer bone bots back there. But we're going to take a look at this guy right here, Airazor. So you can go to Castor'sCorner.com for a full gallery of Airazor shortly after the video airs. You can also follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner. We put up the barcodes for all of these guys. So you can go and get those at Kastor's Corner on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all those good places. And the Cornercast podcast this week with our friend Jay Hernandez talking about collecting. So Airazor, one of the Maximals. I have very, very fond memories of Beast Wars during my senior year in high school. Driving myself to school, I'd wake up early, have breakfast or have something to eat, and I'm trying to fix there we go, transformation so the tail's flat. And have breakfast before I drove myself to school. And it aired right when I needed to leave about. So I could probably get through 25 minutes, and I'd always miss about the last 5 minutes. So I'd usually throw VHS tape in, tape it, and then watch it when I got back. So Beast Wars was really big for me. It kind of brought me back to the Transformers franchise. And the connection to G1 with the arc and that season 3 with Optimal Optimus, I really kind of, that nostalgia really kicked in. It was just different enough, but it had enough nods to the old school. So was really happy with it. So when the Beast Wars figures came out first, I got them. I got into the Transformers line. I hadn't done Transformers in a while. And, but they didn't look enough like the show. And I think we've seen that consistently throughout toys, where we are in what everybody's titling the golden age of toys, because what we're buying now reflects what we're seeing in cartoons and movies and things. I mean, sorry to bring it up again, the likeness on these Shang-Chi figures look amazing. Compared to what we looked at the MCU earlier. I'll get into that later. But for Transformers, the bots never really looked like it, and the alt modes never really captured that look. It was one or the other usually. These Beast Wars figures, I think, are really doing a really good job of hiding all the extra parts, but really capturing the look of the character. So here she is in her Hawk. I think she was a Hawk, right? Mode. And with a few simple steps, she was actually relatively easy to figure out. There's one part in her transformation with her upper torso that you have to kind of, it's not just like an open and close. I'll try to show it on camera. You kind of have to open it, lower it, and then close it. And the joint kind of sometimes gets out of whack. So it's a little bit tricky to get that into position. But first thing you do is you pull off the missiles on the side of her legs, and then her legs are down here. So try to do this backwards in the camera. So you stretch those out. Actually, you have to turn them around too. There we go. Same thing with this one. Let's flip them around. There we go. Open up the tail in the back. Flip the wings. Sorry, I know I'm not doing this very well. I'm trying to do it backwards. Wings fold in. So there you go. Pop out the arms. Okay. So now here's the tricky part, and I don't think I can do this backwards. Oh, got to open up the wings again. So you open up the back, rotate the head, and then, so this doesn't line up, right? So this has to be up higher. So that's what I'm saying. You have to kind of lower her And this little joint on the inside is the tricky part of kind of like lowering and then closing. So I don't know if I can do a close-up of it. Oh, okay. So there you go. So what I did was I stuck my thumb inside, and that lowered it a little bit, but still not enough. Sorry, this is the tricky part of her transformation, because you have to get it flattened. So these things stick up. If you can kind of see how it sticks up, and the other side is laying flat. So you have to lay that one flat too. And then it lines up and you can close it. I know I said she was intuitive and she was not hard to figure out. It's just getting everything in the right position to make her look better. So there you go. Straighten it out. So there she is. I think she's up there. I think Rat Trap might be one of the better ones. Optimus was pretty good. And I say pretty good just because the gorilla mode looks a little funky in the waist area. And then her missiles go on there. So there she is. Already. Articulation is great on her, so she can fire her missiles. I think the paint on her, again, you might see some imperfections on the close-up shots, but to the naked eye, it's not it's not visible. I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't done the photography on her. And so I think that she really does. She might be one of the best ones. Now the packaging shows all the orange here as gold, but the orange matches the design on the cartoon better. So I don't know where the packaging got it wrong, but the figure got it right, which is great. You would rather it was that way than the other way around. But I think Cheetor falls a little flat. I think Rat Trap is really good. I think Optimus is good. The gorilla mode leaves a little bit to be desired, to be honest with you. Like I said, in the legs and the hips. Excuse me. And but she, top to bottom, I think she might be one of the best, if not the best, Beast Wars one to date. I'm looking forward to Rhinox a lot. I'm looking forward to the rest of the leak list, and to kind of fill out both the Maximals and Predacons. But up to now, she was my number one want in this wave. She definitely is as good as Huffer. Huffer kind of really surprised me. You can watch that review from yesterday. So there you go. Airazor, Beast Wars, the Kingdom Wave 2 Deluxes. And from the looks of it, I know the street dates are wonky. But from the looks of it, we're clear until like August, September for Transformers. I'm hoping they'll start hitting around July is usually when they'll kind of start sneaking out. But just the thought of like no new Transformers for the next 3 or 4 months, I'm smiling just because I'm playing catch up. Like playing catch up with all the stuff back there and all the stuff you can't see on the floor. And we're continuing to film footage to show how we're turning our hoarder space, or what's been nicknamed, into collection storage, like a museum. And maybe we'll take you on a tour of collection storage and how everything's stored. Might go into that a little bit later in our Shang-Chi videos. So there you go. Airazor, Kingdom Wave 2. You can follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. You can see a full gallery of Airazor as well as Huffer from last night on our website, kastorscorner.com. And make sure to check out the Cornercast podcast on our podcast channel on Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate if you want to hit that subscribe button right over here. We really appreciate it. The more that you guys subscribe and the more of you that there are, the more cool stuff we get to do. So, and we want to make sure that we can take you on the ride to show you and talk about all the cool stuff we get to do. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow where we're going to really delve into these guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.